How to know when it's time to let go is one of the questions that was asked under the community post. Shout out to Nova Lugalia, such a beautiful name. I posted a question just asking, you guys, what's been on your hearts? What's a question you guys have for me? And this question arose, and I feel it's a beautiful time to really dive into this question just because of the energy that we're in right now, right? We're in that Pluto and Aquarius energy. And so all that is about is that death and rebirth, right? Letting go of the old so that we can embrace the new. And so I feel it was aligned timing, perfect timing, as everything always is, right? And so first, one thing is I've been dropping community posts every day because I'm currently doing a 75-day flow. So it's just keeping me disciplined. It's sending me into deep reflection. So I post reflections, polls, all those things. So if you guys want to interact more, definitely check out those community posts. And for my new subscribers, it's a great way to get to know each other and things like that. And y'all can follow me on Instagram, all that type of stuff. But to dive into today's lore, I want to dive into I want to keep it a how to, you know what I mean? I don't want to, go on a tangent about this and this and this. I want to really let whoever's watching this right now, just some simple steps so that we can really embrace this energy so that we can see what winter has for us, right? Because it's going to get uncomfortable. It's going to get, a little bitter and things like that. I've been feeling it myself, but that let go energy is so important. Like, I compared this energy that we're in to like being in an ocean, right? And you're laying flat on your back, you're floating, and you're just letting go, you're just floating. But what happens is those waves come over your face, right? So the water gets in your face, the water gets in your nose, but it's uncomfortable. And so it's in that uncomfortability that it calls for us to keep embracing that let go energy, to keep embracing that presentness of just allowing. And it's in that we can begin to see the lesson, to see what just needs to wash away so clearly because we're not allowing ourselves to hold on to it and let it bring us to lower states of consciousness. So once again, thank you, Nova Lugalia, for this question, and I want to get into it. And so the first thing is just I want to lay out the steps, because for me, when I was thinking about it, I wanted to break it down, right? So for me, I feel like when it comes time to knowing when to let go, when knowing when to let go of the old to embrace the new, it's a couple things. It's awareness, which is the awareness of what it is. Do I need to let go? Is it the thoughts? Is it a person? Is it a relationship? Is it a habit? Is it I feel like those are the things that, yeah, is it a thought? Is it a relationship, or is it a habit, right? And so then it becomes asking yourself, how does that habit, how does that thought, how does that person, where does that thing bring you energetically? Because I feel like you can't disregard what is happening to you energetically. And to that, on the relationship aspect, I feel like is when it gets a little complicated because there's so many different variables that could come into play. And so just touching up on the relationship aspect, when it comes to knowing when it's time to let go, and when I say, how does it making you feel energetically, you also have to take into account your judgments and perceptions of that person. Have you been victimizing yourself and then reaffirming it with that person, and that's why you're feeling drained? Or, literally that person has been, just doing things over and over again that has, left you drained and things like that when you're trying to evolve and stuff like that. So it's just be conscious of those, the mental tactics of the ego that might get you feeling like, it's all his fault, it's all their fault, and you don't take time to reflect within yourself when it comes to relationship aspect. Now, when it comes to the thoughts and the thoughts and the habituals, right? That gets into literally, where is that bringing you energetically, right? Like, sit down. Like, if you're watching this video right now, just think about your thoughts, your habits, right? Where have they been bringing you energetically recently, right? And feel that. And so then ask yourself there, it's like, do you want to stay there? Is that is that energy in which your thoughts and your habits are bringing you day in and day out, because what you do frequently becomes your frequency, then gets emitted through your electromagnetic field and becomes what you're attracting, right? So is what you're doing frequently, is that the energy in which you want to stay in? And so I feel like it's a very simple answer. I mean, like, it's a very simple question that you can ask yourself. And so if it's not, then you begin to ask yourself, okay, what do I do to begin to let go of this? And so then this gets me into the how of the let go and why it's important to have that awareness in the first place. And so I want to bring the micro and the macro, because we're in this winter energy, but we're also in this age of Aquarius, and we've been seeing truth, but also a lot of darkness rise. And when we decide to go on that inner healing journey and start to let go of things, or maybe you're deciding to start to let go of things, what's going to need to happen first is the full awareness of what it is you need to let go of. It's going to rise, right? It's or rather, it's going to need to rise so that you can see what it is you need to let go of, right? And so you're seeing this on a macro scale in our society with the celebrity stuff. I've delved into it in my other videos. You've seen it with, they just dropped that aliens are real. Well, we've been on that, right? Ourselves, we come from different planets, right? All these things that are rising to the truth, and then we have these horror things going on around the world. Let's take a moment. Let's send some healing energy out to them, for real. The foreign affairs. And so this darkness is rising because it needs to rise to our awareness, so that we as a collective can consciously begin to decide to let these things go, decide to let go of, this capitalistic system that is literally funding these wars, let go of letting these big box corporations drive the market so much that, communities are being destroyed because small entrepreneurs and things like that, they can't compete with that. So this awareness needs to rise so that we can begin to let go. So that's why awareness is key, because if we don't know what we need to let go, then this gets to the energy. Then we stay in that energetic frequency, not knowing there's a higher energy to experience. And that's what's going on right now. That's why you're watching this video right now. Thank you for watching this video. Much love, right? It's because there's something in you that is calling you to a higher frequency. So that first key thing is awareness. So we use that awareness to see, and then this gets us into the how. So how do we begin to let go of this, right? So it rises to our conscious awareness, and then we let go of it with love. We let go of it with no shame, because what I've realized in my experience is when you try to let go of a habit with shame, it's like it's like it's like letting go. It's like putting I don't know if you've ever been punished and you got put in the corner. It's like putting that habit, or like putting that part of yourself in the corner, and then maybe like 2 weeks later you're on a streak. It comes back, and it comes back hard because it's got resentment. So when we're trying to let things go, it's important to remember not to let go with them in shame or guilt or anything like that, because those things that happen, they happen for a reason. There are no coincidences in this experience, right? So those things happen for a reason. And I know it sounds hard to do, but love that. Love the part of you that was birthed, that died, that evolved from that, because that experience had to happen. But now that you've become aware of, this energy that's calling for you to let go, or you've become aware of what it feels like to operate on a higher frequency, right? It's calling for you to let go. So now in this new awareness, you can begin to consciously let go. And it's important for anybody that's trying to let go of anything. When it rises, see it for what it is. If it's an old pattern, see it for what it is. Don't just go into it. Don't just emotionally attach. Don't just mentally attach. See it for what it is, and take a moment and be like, okay, I see that this is an old pattern. This is an old thought that's trying to get me to confine myself to, physical, external things. I see it and I let it go, right? And you can add an affirmation behind that. You can add a deep breath behind that. You can add an action behind that just anything to keep you moving in that higher vibratory state. Because the thing is, when we've been doing something for so long, a thought, a habit, or the same relationship archetype, it's built this like pathway within our energy field, but also in our brain neurons. So it's much easier for us to accept the thing that we've been used to, rather than start to rebuild and reprogram a new pathway that takes us into higher conscious states. So it's going to take repetitiveness. It's going to take practice. It's going to take reminding. It's going to take maybe journaling about it so that you can really get clear on it, right? When it comes to letting go, I don't want to say it's simple, but it just takes showing up for yourself and reminding yourself, okay, I've noticed this. I'm letting this go. So when it arises, I'm going to choose to consciously each time remind myself to let it go and bring in a new program. And so that's when it comes to knowing how to let go, it's just about what are you becoming aware of? And then where are those things bringing you energetically? And then when those things arise, because what happens is, as I've stated, what we do frequently becomes our frequency. So when we've done it for so long, it's been in our energetic field for a long time. So when we're trying to detox it out, it has to expel. So how does it expel? It physically manifests and calls for us to alchemize it. So this comes into using that awareness and consciously letting go at the same time to alchemize. And so that's honestly my spiel on knowing when to let go, is just sitting down with yourself, reflecting, see where it's bringing you energetically, and then asking yourself, do I want this to be, where I stay at energetically? And so if no is the answer, then it comes to, okay, how do I begin to let this go with love, not with shame or anything, but consciously, so that I can begin to embrace my new self. And so truthfully, to answer that question and to create and to get to know practices, like literally go click on maybe how to free your mind, one of my first videos I dropped here on the channel, how to quantum leap, the newest video that I dropped Tuesday. Like there are practices within there that will help you and guide you to enter a mindset in which you can start to consciously become aware of your patterns, so that you can consciously let go and alchemize them. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here. My name is Mark Anthony. This is Elevated Talk. Welcome to the Cosmic Show. We're just getting started. If you wish to support the Cosmic Show, check out the link in the resources. All right. There's a whole bunch of resources to help you and your inner healing journey. Check them out. Much love to you and gratitude to the ancestors. Stay tuned. We cooking. Much love.